back to another one. This is gonna be insane. We're gonna walk in here. I'm gonna get him to introduce who he is and what this location is. But this place is insane. There's a ton of cars outside. There's a ton of cars inside. Come on, let's head over. Welcome, sir. How are you?
How you doing?
Good, good. Quick introduction to who you are and where we are.
My name is Harry. I'm president of Team Emotion, but we're at Brothers Garage here in Alexandria, Virginia.
Awesome, awesome. And we are lucky enough, he is going to give us a tour of the place and all these insane cars. Can we just start with the SC and work our way around?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
This thing is crazy.
Right. So, you know, give you a little bit of history. This shop was started by two brothers, Amper and Kitchitat. They're from Thailand. This is their second location, but you know, back in the day, we didn't have a facility like this, right? We all built our cars in a garage, in our own garage, right? So that's where this name is derived from, Brothers Garage, because the two brothers built not only this car, you'll see the second car later, but this car was basically built in their garage. And then, you know, now we store it here, right? This car is also part of Team Emotion. And so we tour it and we bring it all up and down the East Coast. So it is a SC, Lexus SC with a 2J swap, BN Sports wide body, you know, fully decked out bright seats, turbo, you know, work wheels, big brake kit, full paint job. So, you know, just what Team Emotion builds their cars on, right? What we're accustomed to.
This setup, okay, so if I was gonna do an SC, okay, 100% on the same kit. I love the BN kit. It would probably be a set of works wheels, but I don't know if I could beat this set, because this set is gorgeous.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, we see a lot of these cars on like gold GTCs or whatever, and we're like, hey, let's do it a little bit different, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So, or TEs, right? So this one we did a set of works on there.
Look at, I mean, it's done. It's not like, no, it's a project. No, this is like,
right.
Oh man.
So now keep in mind, right? A majority of it was not done in this facility, right? This is what they did without this facility. Imagine what they can do with the facility.
Oh, I know.
Right?
This place is huge.
Yeah.
So we've got like what, 5 full racks. We've got a couple 4 posts. I mean, I've got a dozen some odd cars in here.
Yeah.
And we've got everything. So one of the things that I think is the most impressive to me right now is the variety of cars.
Yeah.
So like, you know, hardcore JDM, we got a Fairlady 300Z up in there. We got BMW. We've got what, RX-8, Subaru, an M3, and that's a big boy F80 right there. Drag slicks on the back and everything else. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Let's stay over here where we're supposed to stay, because I got all excited. So we got a good straight line BMW here.
So they work on all types of cars, right? So, you know, back in the day when there were shops, it was like Honda specific or this specific. Like, this is a mechanic shop, right? So they do mountain balance, they do oil change, you know, they do brakes, alignment, you know, we do all that. But on top of that, we do custom work as well, right? So we kind of invite everybody, right?
Yeah.
So we do have mechanics that know the different makes, right? So we're not, you know, just a Honda shop or just that, right? Just a Lex shop. We can do everything. So just yesterday, you were in here earlier. You're like, I saw a Porsche exhaust. Yesterday we had 3 Porsches in here. They do BMW daily here. So you know, and then obviously all the Honda and Subaru stuff that that comes in and out throughout the week.
And I mean, this one's custom done. He's got a big single right here.
So this is Amper's daily car. He's one of the brothers, one of the co-owners of the shop.
Ah. How much power has he got out of this? Does he keep a secret?
Yeah, I mean,
keep a secret?
Hey, you know, with all the cars, it's hard to keep track of all the numbers, so that's not my department, man. You know.
So we got a 300. Right-hand drive?
I think that
I think this one's right-hand drive because the gauges are over there. So you got the tranny out.
Yeah. So customer's car. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a little exposed here. I mean, we find a lot that like when you import them, they need clutches. They need, you know, they need the regular maintenance. But you know, a lot of times you get a right-hand drive one in, as beautiful as it is. Yep. It still needs some of that heavier stuff like a clutch or whatever else. Right. And we got a G37 with a
G37
drag slick setup, wide front fenders.
So this belongs to one of our customers. So we kind of redid the bay a little bit, cleaned it up for him. You know, ended up using some just up bolt hardware, AN fittings. So
it's really clean.
Yep.
4-check charger. It's nice. I like when you pop the hood and you get that jewel. Yeah. You know, you get that nice look under there. Yeah. It's low key, but everything custom painted and matched. Looks really good.
Yeah. It's, you know, obviously for you know, all the cars that we work a lot on, we do the custom plating for TI plating for them.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice little add-on for
loyalty, right?
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. The carbon fenders look good on this.
Yeah. This car right here, you guys might recognize it. It was an RX-8 that Throttle gave away a couple years ago. Customer brought it down. We're redoing the air system in it. Yeah. So we do a lot of suspension air systems here as well. We use airlift obviously. Okay. So we do a lot of air tanks. Air suspension.
So one of my things with air is for anybody that really wants to like hard park a car, I love air. I give you guys credit for anybody that can run a static car and make it over all the driveways and everything else. But air to me, like if you want, especially like a VIP car or anything like that, oh man, you get to where you want, you lower it, you dump it down, and then when you got to leave, you can get in and out of the driveway. Nothing better.
I'm still old school, right? So I still believe in just coils, right? Of camber, like me. That's not me, but I think what was cool in the last couple of years was air cups. Yeah. Right. So I thought air cups was pretty cool. So kind of like what you said, same thing, right? But VIP car does belong on bags. Yeah. Right on the floor. Right on the floor. Yeah. A VIP car for sure. Yeah. But I like air cups, right? I thought that was pretty cool because you get that static look, static feel. Yep. And then when you need to clear something, you can air
in and out of the driveway. In and out if you have to go over like speed bumps or something stupid. Yeah. I hate speed bumps. Man, so we've got a nice little STI.
Yep, another customer's car.
Yeah, look, there's one of the leftover Porsche exhausts, you know.
Yep. Like I said, yesterday was Porsche day here, so we had a lot of Porsches in here yesterday.
I mean, we're putting in some fun stuff too. You got Fortunato up here. You got some ARC, you got some Brid stuff, like
HKS. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, we can get parts. A lot of customers bring their parts. Obviously, you know, if it's like an eBay part, we caution them, like, hey, like, are you sure this is what you want?
No warranty on eBay parts.
There you go. Right. Labor is labor, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, this got all Hunter stuff.
Yeah, so this is
our Hunter and Ranger stuff. Cool.
This is our mount balance area. So it is touchless mount. Yep. Road force balance. So we do all of it. We do all of it here.
That's cool. Yep. Yeah, it's a good system. I've used this system a ton of times. The touchless system works great. It really does, and it'll do everything, which is nice.
Yes. So we do everything from track wheels. We do truck wheels. We do all the tuner wheels. So I mean, this system's been great. It's been great for us.
Yeah. I've used that all the way through like like Urus and
Yeah.
full carbon stuff. Man, look how
Right.
much space there is.
So this is a closed out section, right? We usually don't open this to customers. So this is VIP for you.
Oh, I got
right?
VIP access. I mean, we're gonna start off with a massive. Look, even bikes, even motorcycles.
Yep. The old shop, we used to do bikes and cars. At this one, we just decided just to focus on the
More on the cars.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 engines back there on stands. We've got one missing. We got one missing an engine. We got one half ripped apart, tucked away.
You see what that is, right?
Yeah.
That's a right-hand drive Soarer.
Ah, see? They
You know what that means, right?
That
SC out there might be
that's what I really want one. Yeah. I really like I'm in between either an SC or a GS. I like both of them, but for different reasons.
Of course.
But man, that's little Cerakoting. Looks good. Man, it's a good space. Yeah. So, do you struggle? Man, look at got the tranny and everything. Little all-wheel drive tranny. Yep. Do you struggle? Oh, I know how this feels. Look, look. That's supposed to be straight. That's not supposed to be like that.
Nope.
That's what it looked like in my 32. Man,
so back here, more storage, right? Let's get back here.
Ooh, these seats are seats are beautiful.
Brand new. For sale, basically.
Yeah, these seats are beautiful.
We had this in a customer's S2000. Once we put him in, he sat in. He's a little bit bigger guy.
Yeah.
He couldn't fit into it.
Just didn't quite.
Yeah.
So when I sold my S, I had Sparco Halo.
Right.
And the person I sold it to said the same thing. He was like, "Oh man, can you put the stock seat back in?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't fit."
Yeah. So back here we also do apparel. We do hats, and then we do vinyl, right? So those workers have left for the day.
Yeah, of course.
Right, but obviously anyone that does vinyl, Cricut machine, you know that space can never be clean.
No.
So we just leave it up to them. We're like, this is their space. So we let them do it. So but yeah, we do all that in house.
Nice.
Right.
Man, that's crazy. There's so much like I'm surprised I found a location this big.
Yeah.
Because we're still in the middle of everything. So for you guys that don't know, like I know when I was in SoCal, I would say Virginia, and no matter how many times I said Virginia, everybody thought West Virginia. West Virginia is not Virginia.
Yeah, okay? Why is that? Why is it that like West Coast people, when we say Virginia, they're like,
oh, you're out in the middle of the country.
Like colonial, right?
Yeah, you're out in the middle of the country. No. I'm like, no, it's not West Virginia. Like it's okay. So
we're like so Alexandria is about like 15 minutes right outside of DC.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like DC is like right across the bridge.
So it's closer. It's closer than going to LA. Okay. It's closer than LA. Yeah. It's like it's a suburb that's big. Like there's
it's huge.
Outside
it's
of
huge.
DC, yeah, it's huge.
It's huge.
So to have a space that's this big is super impressive.
So we got 2 more customer cars here that are on the 4-post, right? So basically we have this 350Z. I mean, where are you going to go in a shop and you've got this wide body 350Z just chilling, right?
Just hanging out, yeah.
Just hanging out. And it's funny because when we look at the other 4-post left, you're going to say, wow, right? And then we got this customer's Evo, which sneak peek now. Next time you see it, it's not going to look like this. So we've been working on this overnight. So
sneak peek. All right, you guys get a good look. All right, it's going to look different next time.
Again, so these lifts on this side are more for the in and out, right? The oil changes, suspension work, so stuff that we can get in and out daily. So we do have techs on this side that just do in and out quick jobs. So that's what these lifts are for. Wide body NSX customer, another one of our customer's car.
I mean, the caliber of cars that's in here is fire. Like, really
different, right? It's
yeah,
different.
and it's everything too. I mean, we heard the 350 coming in, and we giggled a little bit when he stalled, but it's a tough clutch, so we understand that.
So this BMW fully wrapped, but this is a monster. Another one of our customer car on TEs, fully wrapped. It's
got the Hulk theme on it.
Yeah.
He's got the carbon wide fenders on it, aftermarket headlights, all the canards, all the carbon you can add to it. I mean, literally, all the carbon you can add to it. You guys know how much I love the Euro JDM mix. Yep. I love the Euro JDM mix. Tucking in the back, all Vorsteiner stuff too. I mean, yeah, this is good.
Walk over this way.
And then we got another BMW under the cover.
Right.
And
so I don't know if you guys, I don't know how deep you know. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but obviously this is a Nardo Gray BMW. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. There's a reason why it's wrapped up.
All right. So if not, we're gonna cut here, and then we'll come back to what's on top.
There's a billet 13B rotor motor in this.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, that's incredible. Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Oh man.
Wow. Whose crazy idea was that? How's it going, man? Whose absolute crazy idea was that? Look, he's got the hood cut out and everything. Here, I'll just, oh my goodness. There's no way. Somebody had this as a brain, like as an idea and was like, let's just do it.
So that's the,
wow.
Yeah, that's one of our, another one of our customer car. It actually, he's more than a customer. He's an investor with Brothers Garage. Okay. So this is actually his car. So like I said, I don't know how much I'm supposed to reveal.
Well, we'll find out if I'm allowed to do this. And it's, okay, it's just 3 rotor, it's not 4. Okay, cool. Wow, that's nuts.
Right, and to me, when he told me that he was doing this, I was like, you're gonna do what to your BMW? like this is already a rare, like the Nardo Gray.
The spec and everything else.
It's rare. Like, are you sure you want to do that?
Wow.
He's like, I want to do something different.
That's, I mean,
that checked the box, right?
I had a buddy that was considering putting an RB in his, and had the RB and everything else, and just never got to finalize it. But that's insane. It's on some HREs, super tucked. Oh, I gotta hear that thing. Yeah. Man.
So I know the motor's in it. And I know they're working on getting like the rest of it working, right?
Yeah.
So this is just the beginning stages. So
there's a ton. I mean, you gotta plumb so much for wiring. You got your management system. It's all standalone stuff. Like then you got to make it communicate with everything.
Exactly, right?
And then it's worse because it's a Euro. So it's worse because it's a BMW. Yeah. Like it's the BMWs easy, right? And Mercedes. No. Then it makes it even worse. All right. So then up top.
So then now up top we got an REME Mazda RX-7, right-hand drive.
Oh, I need one.
So we imported the car, and then we got the kit, right? So this is a car that we're probably getting ready, maybe debut next year. We got so many projects, right? So I don't even want to say that, but I mean, you know,
the initial goal would be next year.
The initial goal would be next year. I mean, it's basically done, right? Like, so, you know, we just got to get time to work on it, right? Because we were working on this at the other shop, and then we moved to this one, so then everything got kind of put on the back burner. So,
but it's not like you guys have cars in here to work on or anything. I mean, look, just absolutely insane.
Right.
And then
So over here we have like our kind of like our show floor, right?
Okay.
So this car, like I said, I met you or I saw you earlier this year at Honda Day. Our good friend Daniel, Fresh Accord, he actually died. He passed away unexpectedly. His family gave us his car.
Yep.
I mean, and Daniel was a great guy. He was here every day. He was just one of those guys that just came in,
comes and hangs out.
Yeah,
he's almost family.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like literal family. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. And so his family gave us his car. He had parts. So we said, hey, let's finish it and let's take it to Honda Day, because he didn't do like Tuner Evo. He didn't do Wekfest. Like he like the grassroots show, right? Like where it all came from, right? So he did those shows, right? Because honestly, like this build, like you take it to Wekfest and they're just, it's not them. And then that's okay. That's okay, right? But you know, this was his style, right? And so we finished it. We brought it to Honda Day, you know, as a tribute to him. And everything that we do, we always tribute to him because he was so important in our lives.
That's big.
Yeah. So,
that's big.
And we also give him this is like his area, right? So.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's right up front. It's a trophy area. I mean, look what it's next to.
Yeah.
Like,
so this one right here, if you're from this area, everyone knows this car, right? This car used to be at all the car meets, used to be at all the car shows. This is Wild Z, right? So this is Amper's show car, right? He's, again, one of the original brothers, right? This is his car. If it looks familiar, if you play CSR2 on your phone, this car is actually in that game, right? So that's why this car may look familiar, but this car's been around for a while. There's a reason why it's called Wild Z. It's probably got every single part for a 350Z.
Yeah, like it's like, well, what else can I do? Okay, I did that. What else can I do? Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Well, the funny part is the 7 up here. When it's done, it's gonna be called the Wild 7. So yeah, so get ready. So this is just a prelude to this.
Yes, yeah. So now look, you guys see this craziness here. Get ready. This is pre right here. This is pre-crazy. I mean, it's already kind of crazy, but you know.
Exactly.
It's kind of pre-crazy. All right. And then,
you know,
a beautiful little 32, like, you know, just hanging out.
Yeah, so this is the other brother, Om's car, right? The owner of the SC. This is his other car, right? And you know, it's nice right now. Wait till we start getting our hands on it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the fact that you get one in and you've got one, that's the start,
right?
You know, so it's like, oh, okay, cool. I got one in, you know, which was.
I think he actually has parts on the way. like that's how fast we're moving on this. I think he's got parts on the way. He actually has right-hand drive Supra. Actually, you saw it. You saw it at the open house.
Yes.
Because I know your thing.
Yeah.
Is it automatic or is it stick?
Yeah,
It was at our buddy Absolute Auto's open house. You saw it there.
Yep.
That's his other car.
Oh,
right?
man.
So yeah. The two brothers have a nice little JDM collection on their own.
They understand. This is sick. And then of course, you said they used to do motorcycles. They're not doing motorcycles anymore, right? Kind of.
So they do their own motorcycles. So this is their, right? This is their bikes. So they do their own motorcycles. They don't do customers' bikes anymore.
This is, I mean, I like the Harley and all, but this is sick right here. That is just a nasty little street fighter. And this 1000RR, you guys, everybody loves this bike.
I'll give you one guess who's the owner on this one. I'll give you a hint. He drives a gray BMW also. Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised it's not rotary swapped or something, you know?
And when it comes to bikes, so I'm always been like, I need 4 wheels.
Yeah.
So when it comes to 2 wheels, like, that's a whole different world to me. I don't even know what's done on these.
Right? I had to stop. Like I had to stop. I don't know if it's age, experience, craziness. I don't know, but like I had to stop on the 2 wheels. Now, we talked about all the cars in here.
Right.
We skipped one.
Right. So save the best for last, right?
Of course.
So the reason why I connected with you is because I want to tell the story about my car, right? So I built this car 20 years ago. And you know, this is a 93 Honda Civic that has body conversions on it. And you know, back during the golden era, that's what we did, right?
But this is the truth. This is the way it was done.
This is the way it was done.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And I think this is, like I said, like, hey, I got a story to tell, right? So this is the way it was done. Not a lot of cars are done like this anymore, if any, right?
No.
And I think there was a part, I want to say like 2010, people started like laughing at this, right? So I was like, all right.
Yeah, there was a generation gap where I don't know why, but that's kind of what happened.
So that's when I decided, you know what, it's time to put it away. And then I started working on my Lexus, which IS350, more normal build, right? But you know, had I not built this, I wouldn't have built the Lexus the way that I built the Lexus.
Yeah.
Because this is like inside out, everything's been touched, paint,
Everything.
body work,
Everything,
right?
Yeah.
So motor, transmission, like everything's been done.
This is pure like heyday 2000s, just craziness.
Right.
This is back. Okay.
This is before Fast and this is what Fast and Furious is based off of.
Yeah, 100%. This was back when everybody took a super taillight and grafted it into the back of every single car. They took they took S14 headlights. They were
the MR2 scoop,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, they were doing all of that. It was crazy. All right, so let me show you guys. I'm gonna turn you around. He's gonna walk us through this, and we're gonna talk about this because this. All right, so first things first. This isn't an Integra, okay? So first things first, but you can't tell, okay? So like we were saying in the heyday, this is perfect. This is a time capsule of the way it used to be done.
Right. So like it is a 93 Honda Civic. I was always a fan of the JDM front end, Integra, right?
Yep.
And back then you obviously knew, hey, Civic Integra have interchangeable parts. So I was like, well, let me stick that JDM front end on my Civic, right? So we did that, and then
did you do a whole front clip? Did you order a front clip when you did this?
No.
Okay.
Now today, if I were to do this again, I would have done the front clip.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So everything's all custom on this. So people always ask me, hey, why don't you go turbo? Why don't you do this? Well, when you take all the pieces off, you're right, it's not so pretty, right? Because back then it was, hey, do what you can do to get it going.
Yeah. Okay, so nobody really wants to admit this, but that's the way SEMA cars are. When you really look, there's some that are really, really just pristine. Okay, they're Riddler winners, they're Fuscar stuff, whatever, stuff like that. Okay, but for the most part, when you look underneath a SEMA car and you like really start to look, you're like, oh, okay, they just made it. They just it looks amazing.
Right. So,
but we were all doing these in a garage. We were all doing these, and it's like, well, what are we going to do to make it fit? Okay, well, we ream a hole out a little further, Okay, hey, cool, I got my body line,
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how it has to go.
Exactly. So, but this car used to be black. It's got repainted, custom red, and then when we did the hood, right, carbon fiber was in at the time, and I was like, man, like, I don't want a black hood on a red car. And so my body guy was like, you know what, I'm gonna pinstripe it, and then I'm gonna do this like gradation to it. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. So that's what we got here, right?
It actually looks amazing.
Yeah.
Most of the time, honestly, the execution doesn't happen on a lot of cars. So it's amazing that the lines are straight, like your gapping and everything on it is.
Mm-hmm.
It looks awesome. This is all my style, from we had that conversation coming up. Mm-hmm. Like really, this is what we all started with or all came up doing.
Yeah. So on this car, right, we have the M3 mirrors. It's got the shaved rain gutters, shaved moldings, shaved door handle. But again, 20 years later, everything starts to crack, right? So when I took this car to Wekfest this year, I was really on the shelf, right? Because like those guys, like I care, right? Like even though this car's won me tons of trophies in the past, I didn't want to bring it back out and people laugh at it or say, it was just something personal to me that I spent a lot of time building, and I just didn't want any kind of negative response on it.
Right.
But then Joey looked at it and I was like, yeah, like it's cracked, whatever. It's a 20-year-old build. I had it stored away for 12 years. Sorry, Joey and the judges, sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to bring it out so that, you could see it now. And if I decided to redo it, you guys would be able to see it next year or the year after redone. And he said something to me. He's like, why? He's like, a car like this, like the cracks is part of it.
Yes.
Right. That's part of the build.
I absolutely love. So he's talking about Joey from the Chronicles, from Sticky Dill Joe. He's been on the scene forever too. He's definitely, and he's really not just a Honda guy. He's a JDM guy, but he's definitely a Honda guy. Okay, and he knows his cars.
Right.
He knows his builds, and that's one of the things I love about him is he's like, no, if this is the way it was built, like keep it true.
Right.
You don't need to redo the car.
Right.
You don't need to go, oh, hey, you know, it's been 20 years and I have, you know, the cracking in the paint, you know, it, like you can see like this minor imperfection, but it's what makes the car. It's the personality of the car. It's the way we did it.
Right. And it's crazy because I talked to some body guys, right? And they're like, hey, Harry, you know, I love the fact that you brought this thing back out. And I get like how much the car means to you. And when I talk about repairing it, they're like, dude, you know what? I've seen other cars that were built the same time that your car was built, and they don't look like this.
Mm-hmm.
They're much worse.
Yeah.
Like you're good. Like
you kept
good.
You kept it really good, and whoever did your work, you know,
right.
and put it together, really knew what they were doing.
Right.
Because that's one of the things. Any place that there's extra Bondo, any place there's always cracking.
Right.
That's how it goes. Like so he's going to show us the interior.
Right. So on the interior, right, a lot of color, right? But SAFC in the engine, in the glove box. I do have two gauges in there that controls the car stereo stuff. This is all the original Alpine stuff. Alpine CVA 1005 that has the pop-out screen, the EQ, the DVD player. It's funny because when I was driving around in this, I was playing with it and I was like, why doesn't this thing work? And it's because it's not touchscreen, right? Everything now is touchscreen, right?
It's all the buttons.
Right.
It's all buttons. Like it would fold out and everything, but you still had to hit all the buttons.
Right. So then obviously all the autometer stuff. So this panel, right, now I know you can buy it, but this was actually hand laid. Yeah. And then we sprayed it in red, right? Wow. So now I know you could buy it. So the interior used to be all tan. So when I say everything's been touched, the interior used to be all tan. We did, you know, we went to the junkyard, bought all black, all the black interior. Yep. So that's done. Even the headliner is red and black weave carbon fiber headliner. I don't know if you can catch a shot of that.
Let me see if it'll show up. Oh, that's cool.
Hard to see, I know, but it's,
no, it's crazy. Fair. I don't know how many interiors back in the day I swapped or painted or, you know, and then you'd have to repaint them later because all the paint, none of the paint would last. The paint would crack and everything else too. But I love it because it's like a time capsule. So you want to talk about time capsule.
Yeah, so we talk about time capsule, right? So when I started building, we did the audio first, right?
100%.
And then we did the looks, and then we did the performance, or performance and then looks, right? Audio was always first. Nowadays, audio is last, if even.
If even,
right?
Even.
And you won't see something like this.
No.
Right? You won't see something like this. So, you know, basically we got Pokemomo full audio system. Dreamcast is in here. I have some JL amps. Again, this thing had a CD changer, so it's all in there. When this was built, carbon fiber was a thing, so that's why you see the carbon fiber style wrap. It's silver on the inside, red on the outside. Car hasn't moved, so battery's probably dead. So this thing used to light up like a Christmas tree. Believe it or not, you know, when you're competing, there's always that one guy that you're always trying to chase. When he finally retired, I bought this piece out of his car because I was like, I thought that was the coolest thing ever, right? Monitor, pod, in the deck lid. So I actually, before he sold, I was like, can I buy that off you?
Can I have that?
Right.
Yeah.
So shout out to Wintang. He used to drive a yellow 93 Honda Civic, all yellowed out, racing heart wheels. Sometimes he would do Volk, one side racing heart, other side. So that was a car that I was always chasing. That was the car that I was like, hey, I want to beat that car. That car was in Super Street. And that car was real popular around here. But on this car, back end, IS300 taillights, or actually these are our Tesla taillights. So I had a buddy back in, I was in college when I did this. So this car was the car that I actually bought after high school, and I drove it to college every day. Once I started like competing, I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
But, I had a buddy in the military. The Altezza had not come out in the US yet. So I had him go to Toyota, buy me the taillights.
What?
And so they did the back end with this. But then as soon as I got the car out of the body shop, APC dropped their Euro taillights. So everyone thought this was a Honda Accord. But these are actually, JDM taillights.
So what's crazy is, and those, you can actually, like right there, you can see it says Toyota right there.
Yeah.
The IS, when it came out, actually kind of broke the market. Because that was the thing, is everybody wanted the taillights. Everybody wanted the IS taillights. We had problems with the police.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, those are illegal. You can't do that. And then immediately the aftermarket was like, oh, everybody likes that. Boom, let's make them.
For every car.
For every car. And they weren't DOT at the time. They weren't, you know.
Actually, I don't even think the DOT ones were DOT.
No.
Like, you know,
they were,
like,
you know.
Like,
yeah. Oh, man, that's awesome.
So obviously STR diffuser, like I saw this on a lot of cars now, but back then, you know, this is a Buddy Club rear bumper with a 5 Ziggin exhaust. STR, right? Ed Bergenholtz, Ron Bergenholtz, right?
Yep.
Speed Labs. So they created that. I used to work at a shop back then, so we distributed it. So I had I had the parts. I was like, man.
Really,
like,
the only ones that understood it were the drag racing guys initially.
Well, I used to work for, and it's crazy that he is still racing, Norris Priantu.
Oh, wow.
Of, what's it, he's doing, it used to be Priantu Racing, now he's P-tuned.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's doing all the Supers now, right?
Yeah.
BMWs and stuff. So I used to work for him when he was just doing Hondas.
Wow.
Right? So he's actually the guy that taught me everything I know about like engine stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just the appearance guy, right? So I worked for him and I was like, yeah, you know what? That piece I wanted on the back of my bumper so that the air can flow out. So he actually taught me a lot. And it's crazy because they're saying like in this area, like what he is in drag racing, I am in like the show scene.
Yeah.
Right? So
That's
it's crazy
incredible.
how our paths are similar. Hey, Copes, come here. Do me a favor, this latch right here, I need you to pull it this way so I can drop the back seat. So this is my son, Kobe. I have a story about him later. So again, right, I have a nitrous bottle in here.
Little sneaky.
Yeah, remote bottle opener, so I don't even have to, turn around and open it. I can control it from the front. But again, when I built my car stereo, I was like, this bottle got to go somewhere. Built it on the back of the sub box so I can close the back seat.
Plus we like to hide them anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. We never like to admit that we had them, but we always wanted them. Oh, this car's incredible.
The deadliest part.
So, like I said, this car's been done inside out, right? Engine bay's been painted. It used to be automatic, so we swapped it out for a B motor. So this is a B18 C1 Integra GSR motor.
Nice.
It does have Skunk 2 intake manifolds, Skunk 2 stage 2 cams, valve springs, retainers. Again, when I was working for Norris, we were racing Tony Shag Day every weekend. And so we developed a close relationship with them. And so, when it was time to build my car, they had no problem sending me parts, right?
This is awesome.
Yep.
And this is again a time capsule under here.
Yeah, right. Top fuel intake, which you probably don't see anymore.
Nope.
Fluidine radiator.
Yep.
STR accessories, autometer gauges, weapon R reservoirs.
Yep.
So I do want to say one thing, right? So when I decided to bring the car back out, I had to get it towed here because it was been sitting. And I had the brothers, I said, hey man, like, you need me to bring this thing to Honda Day. You got to fix it. Like, it's been 10 years, battery's probably dead, fluid's got to be drained. So they did all that. And then we were looking at it and it was like, let's update without
changing it.
Without changing it, right? So, we dressed it up with a little bit of titanium, right? I hit up dress up bolts. They were more than happy to help with all the bolts. I hit up Hotsport. They were all about the project, so they gave me new motor mounts. I used to have Place Racing. I don't know if you remember Place Racing. Place Racing solid mounts. The day I put them in, I don't want to say I hated it, but I knew that it was not something I liked. It was just solid, it's shaking.
Everything moves, everything shakes. The engine feels like it's bouncing.
Right. And back then there was no inserts, right?
Yeah.
Like there was, this is it, or that's it.
Yeah,
right?
it was pure solid.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's what was in here before. So they hooked me up. So thank you so much for Hotsport. Thank you so much for Dress Up Bolts. Obviously, Brothers Garage. On all my other builds, I've been using Falcon tires. So when we decided, hey, we're gonna bring this back out, they hooked me up with a new set of tires for my Volk racing wheels. So thank you so much to them. And then obviously my vinyl guy, Vinyl Designs, Marvin over at Vinyl Designs, he was like, hey, we can't let all those guys help you out and not represent them on the hood. So we kept all the vinyl the same on the side, but we changed it on the hood because we're like, hey, for the 2024, let's put it on the hood so that, you know, they can see it. And then we're going to keep all the original stickers on the side.
Yeah, because down the side, that's exactly, that's true to the way it was.
Right.
So
like I said, this car, inside out, this is what we used to do back in the day, right? Like you would open up a magazine, Import Tuner, Super Street, Sport Compact Car, HCI, you name it, right? Pass Mag, and you would just be like, oh, I want to do that, right? Like, and it was just like, boom, like let's get it done, right? Back then when you're competing, like hopefully we get to talking to this today. If not, maybe we set something up where we do something later. But like competition back then and now it's totally different. Like back then, like the car could look like this, and the next week we add something new, totally new, right? Because it was so competitive.
That was one of the crazy things. We would see something like this, right? And you'd go out and it would hit the scene and everything else. And well, we have seasons here, so you'd get to like the end of November. They would do kind of that final, you know, we do like the
season
import
closer,
versus
right?
domestic. We do one of the season closers, and then what happens is that car literally would go to the shop, and a lot of times pull an engine. It would get a whole new color. It'd be red one year, root beer the next year. It would like so like it would have another kit just waiting for it. It would have new color. And on the East Coast, as I talk about, we do paint. They love paint out here, and it's awesome. No, very little vinyl, very little full wraps.
Hey, you know what? Like, it's not me.
I know.
It's not me.
I know.
It's not me. But hey, to the vinyl people, like, if that's your thing, that's your thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's
paint. It's paint here.
It is paint.
It's paint.
Definitely got to be paint. But you know, for me, like, hey, as long as we're being creative, and we're getting something out there, like, the last thing we want is for the scene to die, right?
Of course.
So hey, at this point, hey, if we're rapping, right?
Oh,
but paint is where it's got to be.
Okay, so we're gonna go in there, and we're gonna do a whole nother discussion. So this was the shop. This is what was in the shop. This was really, I just wanted to talk about his incredible car. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in there. If you guys, you know, keep an eye out, we're gonna have a whole nother discussion, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of talk history. We're gonna talk about the scene, where it came from, where it's gone to, the older generation, the newer generation. We're gonna go through all of that stuff. So if you guys enjoyed this little taste, we're gonna go in, we're gonna sit down. I'm probably gonna have another energy drink. I mean, you guys know I drink Ghost right now, and I still haven't gotten sponsored. I need to figure out, if you guys know somebody at Ghost, let them know. But yeah, so I'm gonna probably drink one of those. We are just gonna have one of the best conversations about this industry. I mean, we both grew up in the same area. We came up around the same time. I mean, the same thing with cars and everything else. So if you guys want to see that, stay tuned. I'm going to be dropping that real soon too. And you guys, thanks for hanging out to the end. I appreciate all your support. I'll see you guys at the next one. All right, see you guys.